Hi, I'm here today with Kabin from Nepal.
Hey people.
And we're going to climb Ben Lomond the back way and show you where to go and how to do it. We're also going to show you how to get to the spectacular and so far unknown viewpoint looking over Fern Hill in Queenstown. You just come up from Queenstown up onto Fern Hill, up Fern Hill Road. You can just catch the bus up. At the very top you turn up on Greenstone Place and then onto Watts Road and then onto Dark Place, which is where we're walking down now. You just go down the end of Dark Place and then you turning up through this forest which is in the background here, and we're going straight up here. Then we'll walk along the ridge and yeah, get to the top that way. So we're at the end of Dark Place now. You just go in next to this house, number 71. It's not obvious, there's a trail that just goes right up the side and into the forest up here. So we're gonna walk in now and we're gonna start the watch to record how long it takes and how much climbing we're doing. So we've walked up this track. First bit of information is you head to the right. It's a little bit more obvious these days. I think more people are coming up. It's quite hard when I first sort of explored around this area, and we're now going to start the hardest part of the climb. It's just really steep going up through this forest. You can't see anything. Yeah, I just call it the burn. You just got to burn through it, puff your way up there. It's definitely very steep coming up through here, but it is only the first few hundred meters, vertical meters, and after 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your speed, you're sort of over it and the track sort of levels out. But it is quite a hard little start off. So we've already passed the steep stuff now. The track is leveled up. It's sort of going around the side of the mountain. It only took us 15 minutes to get up that steep stuff, so I'm just telling everyone this just so you don't give up in the first 15 minutes, because then it's just over and done with. Here's the track. So now we're just arriving at the clearing. First bit where the bush starts to open up. It's just a hole in the bush and you can get a view out down over the lake in Queenstown here. So a bit of history of this track. As far as I know, it was actually built by mountain bikers. They just cut a path through these trees here, because as you go up there's two mountain bike tracks that drop back down onto the main road. So we're just leaving the trees now, getting up above the bush line. This is where the first mountain bike track, which drops back off down to the road let goes. Here we've reached the top of the mountain bike track uphill. There's another mountain bike track which drops off down that way, but we're going to head straight up here. This is the end of the ridge which comes off Ben Lomond, and there's no established track along here. There's just in the beginning there's starting to be a bit of a track just because I've come up here so often, but the first time I went up here there was none at all. I just always wanted to go along this ridge and reach Ben Lomond this way. So you come up along here until you reach the top, and then we just turn off in here. I'm going to head up this way. If you do lose the track, there is a bit of a landmark. There's a sort of ditch which goes along here and goes straight up. You just stay to the right hand side of that ditch the whole way, and keep that in mind in case you're up here and it gets dark, which it happened to me once and I couldn't find the way back down, but I found this ditch and I just knew that if I stay on this side of it I'd find my way out. Slowly but surely these Douglas fir, which I think come from North America, are just making their way up the slope and just taking over everything. There were none here the first time I climbed up about a year and a half ago, and now the first seedlings are here like this. So maybe by the time you see this video, it's quite likely this whole slope will just get covered in them. You won't be able to see anything. But if you do come up here, do everyone a favor and try and rip one out. we're just arriving at the viewpoint now. This is one of the best views in Queenstown. It looks kind of like Roy's Peak, and no one knows about it. Normally it takes 45 minutes to get here from the road. Today we've done it in an hour 20 because we're just taking our time and making videos. I expect this view will become really famous one day, from popular probably, but for now there's no one up here. It's such a fantastic view up here. The thing about Skyline, that's one of the most famous images in New Zealand, is looking from there straight down on town and down the lake, and here you are here on this sort of Roy's Peak equivalent, and no one knows about it. Only 45 minutes from the road as well. So we're up here looking straight back down on Fern Hill where we left earlier on. It really is such a stunning view up here that I'm going to put together a few clips from the 40 odd times which I've been up, just so you can get a sense of it. I did say that it takes 45 minutes to get up here, but for most people it's probably going to be about an hour. 45 is going pretty quick. Still though, for what it is, it's really close to the road, and out of all the time that I've been up here I've never seen anyone else. I think I could be the first person who's passed through up here with a photographer's eye, because I've never seen any images from up here either. If you think of all the thousands of images you've seen from Skyline, and none from here. Sometimes just head up for a run after work. Or come up to catch a sunset. I've come up a few times at night as well and got the galaxy rising behind the Remarkables right over Queenstown. From here on we're going up this steep section up here, and it does get quite a lot more difficult than what we've been doing. I thought I might add that if it's your first time, I recommend going the way that we're going today. Don't just go up the regular tourist route, then get to the top and then decide to come back down this way. That's because it can be pretty hard to find your way back out down that track. But if you're going to ignore my advice and do it anyway, remember to look for that ditch that I was talking about before. So up here we're going along the ridge. We're at 1330 meters and we've climbed 880 since the road. I mean, there's still a good view up here, but it's probably not as good as it was before because you're sort of going back away from the lake. Sometimes when you come up here you see Kias. Probably every third time that I've been up here I've seen Kias, although in the last few weeks they haven't been around. For anyone who doesn't know, they're the most intelligent bird in the world, and they're about as intelligent as monkeys. So that means more intelligent than your cat or dog, and that means that they're pesky little bastards. They do stuff like they'll come in a group, like 2 or 3 of them, 3 or 4 even, and one will start squawking and ruffling its feathers so it gets your attention, and while you're paying attention to it the other one will steal your stuff. So you've got to keep an eye on your stuff all the time. They'll take everything. Once in Fiordland actually, someone tried to take off my car keys doing that exact trick. Like, they know, they're intelligent enough, they understand what people are doing and they can manipulate you. So it definitely gets a lot more dicey when you come along here in winter. This usually, most of the year, this is covered in snow and ice. You can do it, you just got to kick good footholds into the snow. And where Kabin is right now, you got to make sure you don't slip off down there. I'll chuck in some snow footage that I've recorded when I've been up here in winter. It's kind of funny coming up here in the end of summer and looking at just how timid sections are compared to winter. This is usually solid ice and there's a decent drop on this side, on the right hand side. And I've been labouring up here before in the middle of winter, kicking footholds and hoping that they don't collapse. And here on this rise here, this is the first view of the summit. (1,445 meters up here, so probably climbed about 1,000. And here's the regular tourist track, which most people take to get up to Ben Lomond. We're going to be going back down on the way back. So along here, these rocks, this is another one of the more dicey sections in winter. You've really got to kick your foothold so you don't end up sliding off straight down.
That's the top right there, no?
Yeah, that's the top there. You see that there's someone up there. Usually before the virus there'd probably be about 100 people a day that would come up here. They're actually talking about installing toilets in down there just for the amount of people that are coming up. It's probably almost as well walked as Ben Lomond in Scotland, which this mountain is named after. So we're at the last climb for the summit. We're at 1,500 meters and we've climbed about 1,100 since we left. It's not too bad now, it's quite steep, it goes for another 200 meters straight up. But in winter it's really laborious coming up here. It's just like step after step, like pushing through 2 feet of snow. We're just below the summit now. Because Kabin's from Nepal, of course I have to call him Sherpa Tenzing. Come on Tenzing, we've almost made it.
Yeah, boy. Bro, I totally it.
Almost tripping over.
You really think we can do it, Hillary's up?
I'm not sure, Tenzing. I know I can do 8.
Where I come from, Tenzing, there's no such word as Super Bihan.
Where I come from, Sherpa Tenzing, there's no such word as Assam.
Yeah, that's the only word I know. Good morning in Nepalese.
Follow me, Tenzing.
It's arriving at the top right now. Keep straight up along the ridge down there. And we're now 1,740 meters. See Mount Aspiring, 3,000 meters out in the distance. So again, I'm just going to put together here a montage of clips from all the other times that I've been up here. And this here is looking from the Remarkables back across Lake Wakatipu in Queenstown towards Ben Lomond. The big mountain in the background is Mount Earnslaw out the back of Glenorchy, 2,800 metres high compared to 1,700 of Ben Lomond. Now we're going to head back down this way and join on to the tourist track down here. And head along that, back down to Skyline in Queenstown for a beer. So we're heading back down the tourist track, looking out in the lake. There's no wind at all. We should have gone kayaking today instead of climbing up here. So I was coming down here after one climb at the end of the day one day and found a troop of Kias all just hanging out here. Got some really nice shots of them sort of flying off into the sunset, which I'll add in just now. So we're now heading straight down this well-formed tourist track to Skyline. This is the ridge that we just climbed along, up to the summit there. And it goes down onto that saddle, and here we are. How was it, Kabin?
It was really good. Kind of got tired in the middle of the big day.
Had enough?
Sorry,
Yeah, time for a beer.
It's time for a beer.
Good. And I can't even bother walking the whole way, so we'll just go down on the gondola. Alright, we've made it at Skyline now. Definitely time for a beer. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Tenzing?
I could go for 2 beers.
2 beers. Well, we made it down. This will be another effect of COVID. Bars closed. We're a pain in the ass. Have to have a beer at my place. I'll go into town and grab one, eh?
Yeah, we'll see. I want beer.
Dying for it, eh? Cheers.
Cheers.
Gotta learn how to say that in Nepalese. Check out the video I made of my old job building New Zealand's 10th Great Walk on the West Coast. Otherwise, if you like this video, consider leaving a comment or a like. Cheers.